Hey guys, what is going on? My name is Tom Spark and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about Surfshark and putting it in the new 2.0 review system here on the website. Now if you guys haven't already, go ahead and check it out on vpntierlist.com. We have the 1.0 system, which is a complete rankings of pretty much every VPN out there. Now we're starting 2.0, which is an enhanced rating system, and we're just kind of slowly starting to make our way through all the VPNs out there again with a more accurate rating system. So today we're going to be putting Surfshark through the paces to see how it can do in this new rating system. If you guys do decide you want to purchase Surfshark, you could find a link down in the description down below. Or if you'd rather pick higher rated VPNs, you can find those on vpntierlist.com. Anyways guys, thanks already in advance for checking out this review, and let's get into the paces.
Alright guys, so first up we're going to be taking a look at Surfshark's pricing policy. And unfortunately there are quite a bit of blunders here in my opinion and with the review system. Firstly, it doesn't really hit any of the marks in terms of the price point we're looking for. 1 month $13 is pretty expensive and more than the $6 to $10 range of what we want. Not only that, but there's not the 6-month plan is $40 and that's more expensive to $20 to $30, which is what we find more reasonable here. The good news is you do get a decent 2-year plan for $60. However, another category of the system is that there must not be a price increase, which means that after 2 years, you are going to be paying $60 a year. That said, $60 a year is within the 1-year term that we look for, so overall the 2-year and 1-year model here aren't actually that bad. Overall, don't have too many problems with this one. That said, in terms of some of the other things we're looking for as well, we don't really like timers here on the tier list, and we do kind of see some elements of that by now. Surfshark has also had timers in the past, although not quite as bad as some other services out there. Stuff like CyberGhost always has timers that are counting down. So not quite as bad, but we still see those a little bit in the wording and kind of in the past as well. So the good thing is that we do have unlimited simultaneous connections here, which is nice. So it's definitely more than 8+. But again, the price increase is something to consider as well. So overall, I'm not too impressed with the pricing system with Surfshark. Really, the only good deal is 2 years. So the 2-year plan for $60 is really good. And that's one reason why a lot of people like Surfshark and deem it one of the most affordable VPNs. And that is true, 2 years is pretty good. That said, increasing it to a yearly price after that means that it's going to be $60 per year, and that will quickly add up to around $120 for 2 years or $180 for 3 years after that. Of course, you could always make a new account, but that's also kind of an extra hassle. Other VPN providers like torguard are $30 a year with promo codes that go every year, and even stuff like WeVPN is $40 a year recurring, so you don't have to worry about making a new account. So that's something to keep in mind. Alright guys, so now let's go ahead and move to the application section. And Surfshark does okay here in some areas. For example, you can find basic things like an ad blocker. You have the ability to do split tunneling via the app or through websites. It has some of those add-on features that you could click here and it just takes you to the website. It has some basic settings and controls where you could go to dark mode between light and dark. You can also customize the kill switch. You also have the ability to change between WireGuard, ShadowSox, OpenVPN, which is nice. WireGuard also. No borders, which is kind of like an obfuscated VPN use. And that's about it. So what exactly is Surfshark missing then? Well, it is missing a Linux GUI, which means that you're not going to have a graphical user interface on Linux, only a CLI. It also doesn't have any DNS controls if you want to customize that. It's also not going to have port forwarding, which is very useful for seeding torrents. It also doesn't have a SOCKS 5 proxy support that you can use in a BitTorrent client or something like that. It also doesn't have dedicated IPs, which is definitely a little bit of a bummer too. For those people who want a specific IP that you're always going to be able to connect to whenever you want to, and you can maybe unblock some website restrictions or not have CAPTCHAs and stuff like that. So overall, I think it has a decent interface. It could have a little bit more of a pop and pizzazz. I think they could take a little bit more blue font or something to make it a little pop a little more. It's a little bit plain, but in terms of interface, I think it's fine. It just kind of, I think it needs a little bit more something special. Overall though, it's a decent application, but definitely room for improvements and more compatibility overall across the board. Especially for being around for a while now, I would have thought they would have added some of these things like a Linux GUI or SOCKS 5. Now we're going to have a test and see what kind of speeds we could get with a speed test and torrent test. Now remember guys, if you see another VPN review on YouTube or some websites that's just showing you charts or something like that, chances are they could have altered the speed results and tried to fit a specific narrative to sell you a different VPN. On this channel, we only do live speed tests to show you the real results that are unbiased and not changed or anything like that. You can see that I'm connected here and we are currently starting the speed test. We have a decent ping right now. Ideally, I like to see around 700 to 800 for my VPNs in that range. That's probably the best speeds I can get. And there we go. That's actually pretty good speeds from Surfshark right now, going up around 750. Quite good. I would say this is probably the best. 750 to 800 is really the best I'm looking for. And also good upload rate here too. Let's go ahead and check out the download. So now we have the torrent installed here. In this section, I like to see around 50 to 70, 50 to 80 for my top rated VPNs. And there we go. We did get 52 there, 67, which is nice, 77. So just like the speed test, Surfshark is getting really good results actually. It got about to 80 there, tapering down a little bit now though. Overall, these are very good speeds, plenty for torrenting, plenty for streaming, gaming, whatever you need. Surfshark has gone faster over the years for me. And yeah, it's looking really good right now, honestly. Definitely one of the fastest VPNs out there. So very solid. Looks like they could have optimized WireGuard too to give it a little bit better speeds. So definitely really good speeds here for Surfshark. So guys, how does Surfshark do in the privacy audit? Well, not that great to be honest. It does use Google Analytics, which is definitely a little bit of a letdown. If we look at the blacklight test, it has tons of ad trackers and third-party cookies, as well as it could monitor keystrokes and mouse clicks. And like I said, using Google Analytics, most likely nothing nefarious, but definitely nothing privacy friendly, which we can see from other VPN providers out there that do a lot better than this. If we look at the permissions and trackers, it also has a decent amount of trackers, full of Google kind of crash analytics and AppFlyer stuff, and a lot of permissions as well. Looking at this kind of stuff, you can opt out of some of these things like the diagnostic report, but overall, I think they could improve a lot of these things, but most likely don't. A lot of these VPNs have more of a business-oriented approach, and they don't want to sacrifice some of those analytics and things like that in order to improve privacy. So I don't know if I'll see Surfshark doing that, but definitely not as privacy friendly as it could be in terms of the audit. That said, Surfshark does offer some complimentary privacy services. It kind of checks breach and stuff like that from Have I Been Pwned. And it also does have like a virus scanner now, which is kind of cool. So that is really nice. So they do offer those complimentary privacy services. Although some of them, like the data breach one, I do think that it's like a paid add-on, and with stuff like WeVPN, they don't charge for it. You can get like a bundle of everything, which is kind of cool. So you have those things included within, which is okay. It looks like it's going to be $100 for the first 24 months and then $100 annually or something like that. So that's kind of expensive after the first 2 years. The good thing about Surfshark though is that they also offer those complimentary privacy services, but they also have never sold out. As far as I know, the company itself has been owned by the same people, and they have been a little bit more transparent lately, perhaps some criticism from me. You can find all the employees on the website, some of the advisors, the team itself, CEO, management, stuff like that, which is really nice. So I think they've done a good job improving that kind of transparency of the back end, at least in that aspect. So mostly what Surfshark could improve is some of these things like we will find on Blacklight and Exodus. And yeah, if Surfshark, if you're watching that, let me know if you're planning on fixing any of these issues. Good thing about Surfshark is they do support live chat, and it is pretty responsive and friendly. And this is sometimes common with some of these really big VPNs, so they have pretty decent live chat. So that's pretty cool to see. Now, in terms of streaming, Surfshark does work well with streaming providers. In my test, working with pretty much all of them. You can like find some information on the website right now about them having Netflix issues. So they are having Netflix issues like every other VPN at this point, which is pretty common. They're trying to fix it, and by the time you watch this review, it might even be fixed already. So keep that in mind. Surfshark is working to fix those issues, and they do work pretty good with most all of them. So they're pretty much going to get full points here. I've tested them in the past, and they pretty much unblock most of the major streaming services. That said, guys, Surfshark wasn't able to pass my 1 hour ticket response time, which was definitely a little bit disappointing. It was 1 hour ago, around 4:37, now it's 5:50, and still no response. Some other VPNs can pass this test, and this is a strict customer support test, so I always want to see if they can respond within an hour, because that's just really good and helpful for most customers. They do have live chat though, which is a good option. However, some people like to use these support tickets, or maybe sometimes live chat could be down, and support tickets might not be as fast, so they're not going to get full points for customer support.
Alright guys, so now that we are at the end of the review, let's do a quick summary. So overall, Surfshark is going to be a tier 2 VPN, a little bit lower in tier 2 than it was in the previous tier list. This is in a combination of the fact that it does lack a couple key things in the application section. It's missing stuff like a Linux GUI, some DNS controls, port forwarding, SOCKS 5 proxy, dedicated IP support, some of those extra compatibility things that do make a difference to a lot of people. Additionally, some of its pricing tricks are a little bit annoying. It's not affordable for 1 month or 6 months. Really, all it is affordable is 2 years, and then you're gonna have to cancel your subscription, or it's gonna auto rebill for $60 a year, which honestly isn't the worst price. But after that first year of auto rebilling, it's gonna get pricier and pricier the longer you stay subscribed, because other VPNs do have better long-term commitment models that don't have price increases. Additionally, they could use less kind of timers and sales, and overall stop the price increase. In terms of the privacy audit, we also see too many ad trackers and stuff like that on the applications and website, and they didn't manage to meet my 1 hour response time for customer support ticket response time, so that is something to think about too. Streaming, it does well though. It's always done pretty good with streaming, so no complaints there. Overall though, Surfshark does have a lot of room for improvement in some of these kind of nitpicky areas. It's a decent VPN. It has really good speeds actually, so that's really cool. I do think in some ways, no offense to the team, that it is a little bit overrated. It's definitely super popular, and there are some other VPNs that I think are a little bit smaller that do deserve a little bit more attention and limelight. So take that into consideration when deciding if you want to purchase this one. Anyways guys, see you in the next video review very soon.